Hello everyone, and welcome to New Trials of Podcast. I'm Preya.
And I'm Melanie.
The New Trials of Captor Sakura, Syaoran and Friends is a popular ongoing fanfic by Wishluv, and it's based off of Clam's card Captor Sakura. And in each episode, we'll do a deep dive of each chapter. Let's get into it. So Melanie, have you ever had something stolen from you?
So luckily, I personally have never had anything stolen from me, but my husband has. So last year, we bought a new house, and so since we were in our 30s, we were like, hey, we can actually afford movers this time, so let's get some movers. And so we hired this local company to move all our stuff, and pretty shortly after the movers got there, my husband's wallet went missing. And he, of course, right away was like, one of them took it. And I said, no, let's not, immediately point fingers. We're moving. Things are in a disarray right now. Like, let's just look for it and see if we can find it. Well, we looked everywhere for this wallet. We could not find it. And yeah, it does turn out one of the moving people did steal the wallet. And, what is kind of ironic is they stole the wallet because my husband had cash in his wallet, but ironically, that cash was going to be for their tip anyways. But yeah, it was really sad. That wallet meant a lot to him, and yeah, we were very upset, but it all kind of worked out in the end. We got free moving, basically, because the company felt really bad for us. They gave us cash back to replace the cash that was took from the wallet. So anyways, but how about you?
Well, the only thing I could remember ever getting stolen from me is when I started middle school, and I didn't put my lock on properly. So when I went to my locker, the lock was a bit open. So I'm like, uh-oh. And then I went in and I saw that like my dictionary and my thesaurus were stolen.
Of all the things to take.
Yeah, but like I think what really bummed me out is that I had like a pretty sticker inside the dictionary, and I'm like, well, lost that sticker. But like honestly, I was 13 at the time, and then I just made sure to double check my lock after that.
Who steals a dictionary and a thesaurus?
It's pretty,
of all the things.
Go figure. But never had a break-in, never had anything of mine stolen, so I'm pretty lucky on that front too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then for our Alliance of the Stars section, we actually had a very exciting conversation. And so Tanny, who is a longtime fan of New Trials, she just so happened to see my Instagram post that I did where I was very excitedly posting pictures that Preya came to Kansas City to see me, and we were together. And Tanny just very sweetly messaged me, and she's like, oh, I'm so happy you guys met in person. I'm so happy for you guys. Like, she was so sweet. And so I messaged her back, and I was like, hey, if you have time and want to talk to us, reach out, girl. And oh my god, it worked out, and the three of us got to have like a little FaceTime conversation together, and it was the most surrealist, most awesome experience. And oh my god, thank you so much, Tanny, for taking the time to talk to us. She was so sweet. It was like 11:30 midnight her time, but yeah, it was the best to kind of see her in person like that.
For sure. I've known Tanny-chan since, I want to say 2012-ish, 2014 if not, and just to see her grow, and at this point that we're at now, it was very exciting to talk to her, and we were like talking about callback things like from those days. Mm-hmm. So it was fun to see that what we both remembered. And I think the best part of the conversation is when Tanny-chan said that our podcast and your audiobook inspired her to get back into New Trials after a decade, and she wasn't sure if like her in her 20s would feel the same way as New Trials as her in her teens, but she gave it a go, and guess what, folks? It held up.
Yay! Of course it did. But I love that we're kind of reigniting a fire in the fandom right now. Like, of course, I love just hanging out with you, and then I love Wish-chan, but it's really just, it's rewarding on like a whole other level in order to kind of just reignite the fandom. Like, I'm enjoying it.
Yes, and we have a lot more adventures to come.
Heck yes.
Yeah, so Today we'll be discussing Chapter 23, Kaitou Magician and the Diamond Necklace. This chapter was released on March 3rd, 2001, and now we get to be more precise with the chapter dates because Wish-chan, she developed her website and she put her updates page. So when I was doing my just getting some research about new trials, figuring out when I think I was doing my new trials tables, like I had these fancy new trials real time, new trials release date, just these tables just for fun. And I discovered her very, very, very old updates page. So I got the exact, so from this point in, I'm going to get exact dates of chapter release, which is
super
fun.
Cool.
Yes. The word count is 11,003 words, and it's the month of April. Chapter 23, Kaitou Magician and the Diamond Necklace. Everyone was preparing for the carnival and talking about the Kaitou Magician being spotted in town. Tomoyo was excited to learn that Sakura was staying at Syaoran's, but hid the fact that her father contacted her. Thinking back of how she hanged up on her father when he called, and calling Ariel for comfort, she was snapped back into the present by Takashi and Chiharu, who noticed that she was distracted. Syaoran, Aaron, and Aki were magicians, and knife tricks were Syaoran's only strength. Sakura and Syaoran noticed someone leaping on the buildings and followed him to a secluded side of school. They found a young man in sunglasses dressed in black who warned them to watch out for themselves, and that he would see them soon before he disappeared. Sakura lent Syaoran the flower card for him to practice magic tricks, and he realized that she trusted him after all. Sakura had nightmares, one with two cloaked figures, where one had a sapphire ring as a necklace, looked at each other, and another of Mei-lin telling Sakura that it was her fault that Syaoran was not in love with her. When she woke up, she bumped into Syaoran in the dark, and then he showed her his flower trick. Mei-lin made a fuss when she caught them together, and became playful with Sakura when Syaoran left. He came back saying the Joker was here. The three battled the forest until it slipped away when the Kaitou Magician came. After binding Syaoran, Kaitou almost stole Sakura's necklace until Syaoran escaped and stopped him by throwing knives. The police siren stopped him from stealing the necklace, but before he left, he captured Mei-lin and whisked her off with him. Syaoran and Sakura told Tomoyo about the kidnapping, and after she daydreamed about the thief falling in love with Mei-lin, she started researching on Kaitou. They learnt that he'd been stealing for a year and a half in places all around the world. All of a sudden, the computer had a message from Kaitou telling them he'd get the necklace and that Mei-lin was safe. At Kaitou's seedy apartment, Mei-lin yelled at him until she cried, which concerned him, so he let her free from her binds only so that she can cook for them. At the carnival, Kaitou locked Mei-lin in the storeroom and placed a tracking bracelet on her so that he would know her whereabouts. The Joker still got a hold of her and tied her on stage for a knife trick. Syaoran used the flower card and the knife to save her. Kaitou cut the lights and fought Syaoran. In the end, Sakura gave up her necklace for Mei-lin's freedom, which left him feeling like he lost. He let go of Mei-lin, the ring, and the necklace, saying that he would steal it fairly. Sakura captured the Joker and puts the ring on the necklace and places it around Syaoran's neck. For the first time, the Kaitou Magician felt lonely. So, Sakura hogging the bathroom is not good house guest behavior. That's like, come on, girl. Where are your manners?
That's super true.
It's like I'm staying at Melanie's and she has like her own master bathroom, and so I'm really lucky. I have like my own guest room that's like, to my own. But like still, why would you do that, Sakura?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like you would think boys wouldn't take as long to get ready, so you would think Syaoran would like use it first, then Sakura and Mei-lin would go. But but Syaoran also is very particular about his appearance, so maybe he is the type of guy that takes a long time in the bathroom.
I really like the bit where Mei-lin refused to let Sakura wear her own clothes and only made her wear Syaoran's clothes.
So funny, which is ironic considering when Meilin first met Sakura, she was in a Syaoran shirt, and that's what started the whole thing. So that's pretty funny.
And not only was she in a Syaoran shirt, but I think she was wearing the shirt that Meilin gave him.
Yes, for his birthday. Yep, indeed.
There was a mention of Meilin and Syaoran matching pajamas. Did you know that there was a fan art of that?
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. What is Meilin holding?
A teddy bear. Actually, yeah, that's a teddy.
Is it a teddy bear?
Maybe that's a horse. No.
Or is it a bat?
No, I think it's a teddy bear. Yeah, it's probably a teddy bear. But yes, so this is by Maria, aka Asume.
Oh, so cute.
And it's absolutely adorable.
Is that them when they were kids?
Yes,
oh,
yes,
I
yes,
love
yes.
it.
Yes, in this chapter, Meilin just like makes a passing comment of how she and Syaoran used to have matching pajamas, and Maria's like, "Oh, I'm gonna draw that," and it's very cute.
Super cute.
We will share that on Facebook and Instagram for sure. So let's talk about Tomoyo and her dad. It was so sad that he was out of the picture for so long, and that she had to ask, like, "Why are you calling?"
Yeah, and then. Yeah, I opened up to Preya a little bit about my own fatherly issues. So these next couple chapters might be a little hard for me on like the audiobook side of things, but yeah, I know what it's like to have issues with a father figure and not be able to talk to any of your friends about it. So these chapters in particular, I really feel a kinship with Tomoyo. And then she calls Errol, and it just breaks my heart. She's like, Errol-kun? It makes me cry.
Yeah, it's like we get to explore the side of Tomoyo because we never see any vulnerabilities unless she's like attacked by claw cards. And I think she's keeping it from Sakura because she feels like there's an image that she has to uphold.
Yeah, I was gonna ask why you feel like she reaches out to Errol of like all people.
Yeah, I think it's because I think Ariel is non-biased. Like, he's not going to be one, like, not that Sakura puts her on a pedestal, but like Tomoyo feels that she is Sakura's right hand, she is her support, she is her rock, and if the rock wavers, then I think I don't think she wants to put Sakura in that position. And maybe there's pride as well.
Yeah, for sure. When we know Sakura's prideful. Or I guess it's Tomoyo, actually. Just kidding.
No, I think Tomoyo, she's like the girl who has it all together.
Yeah.
And to see the crack in the facade, I think that's she's trying to protect her from that.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of circus prep. Syaoran being a terrible magician, considering that he's an actual magician, will always make me laugh. Okay. Yes, he's gotten too used to being covert. So Sakura giving the flower to him later on, that's a huge step, even though it was a casual scene.
Yes, and I love that, like, he was like, why would you trust me with this? And she's like, because it's you, you know. And I think that also kind of foreshadows like the fact that here in the next couple chapters when she gives him the staff and he's able to seal the cards, you know, or not seal the cards, but right?
No, he did seal the card because she was turning into crystal.
That's right. Yeah. So, I just love that.
We finally get to meet Kai before his name is Kai.
Yes!
I love the voice that you gave him. It gives me goosebumps. It's like so suave and melodic.
Thank you. Well, you know, that's how she described his voice as melodic. And so I was like, I feel like he needs a really smooth voice. And so, yeah, I was quite pleased with my Kai voice as well. So thank you.
Yes, very slinky. I think we're having a face-off with the Joker, but we have a showdown with the Kaitou Magician instead. And we have Kai and Meilin's first quote-unquote dance. when they were fighting each other. So we think that Kaitou is going to steal the necklace, but Syaoran intervenes, and then Sakura, she puts up a fight. So I think that surprises Kai, because he's like, oh, this is going to be like my other heist, so I'm just going to go in, I'm going to go out, get what I want, go on with my way. And I really love, like, he even tied up Syaoran, and Syaoran manages to escape.
Yeah, I think he kind of felt like he met his match, you know?
Yes. So I knew Melin was going to get kidnapped. I think I was just surprised that it was this soon. And like, Tomoyo, we love you, but there's nothing romantic about kidnapping.
I don't know. Maybe this is my weirdness coming out, but I could kind of see the allure.
I actually drew a fan art of the scene.
So cute. And what's funny is, you know, they do end up falling for each other, which is hilarious.
Yeah, but like ways down the line, and as where we are in New Trials right now, Kai isn't in Melin's good book, so
that's true.
I really like how we get to see Kai's computer skills so early on.
I was going to mention that as well.
But, like, I wonder where he got his personal data from. He's like, Kinomoto Sakura, blah, 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 blah. Lee Syaoran, blah, 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 blah.
My guess is, like, he probably hacked into, like, the government database or something, you know? Like, the social, like, what would be our Social Security office or something like that would be my guess.
My theory is that he's using Pero-chan as a spy.
Oh, totally. I could see that.
So, with the amount of complaining Melin did, she probably ranks as the worst victim ever. Until she offers to cook for him.
So, I have a theory. I think he fell in love with Melin when she cooked for him.
I love that.
I think he thought she was beautiful when she was like fighting him and how feisty she was. I think he liked that, and I bet so my personal headcanon. Here's another headcanon, guys. So I think he thought she was beautiful and stuff already, but then when she cooked for him, I think that sealed the deal, and I think that's why he put the tracker bracelet on her, because he's like, this girl is beautiful and she can cook and she's feisty. Like, yeah, I think he fell for her like right then, right there.
Well, you know what they say, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
and yep, Kai needs someone to put things in his stomach.
We get to the spring carnival. Melin is tied up and becomes Joker's victim, which really sucks. It's like first kidnapped by the Kaitou and then kidnapped by the Joker. It's like this girl can't catch a break. It's like kidnapped twice.
Oh, but it makes for such a good scene though, where she's on the wheel, she's spinning, and then Syaoran has the knives and they're replaced by actual knives. Like, oh, it does make for such a good scene.
I know. And like, I really like how he was able to use Flowery as an attack card.
Yes.
Like that was really clever, because in all the canon, the Flower is just like, oh, pretty. But for him to use as like a visual, just to impair the vision and get his way, I thought that was really clever on Wishchan's part.
Yes, for sure.
So this opened the door to a really amazing Syaoran versus Kaitou fight, and you can tell that Wishchan had a lot of fun writing the scene.
I agree.
And like, even as the fight was going on, I just couldn't remember. It's like, do they keep the necklace in the ring? Does it get stolen from them? Like, it really kept me on my toes. So the chapter ends with Sakura capturing the Joker without additional force, because poor thing drained himself out.
Well, and I like the fact that, you know, it kind of shows like the different cards, where the Joker is just very much just a mischievous card. It's not really a malevolent, like a attack type card. So I like that it shows different types of cards, you know, kind of like how Flowery,
yes,
for the most part, was just like, I'm just going to shower everyone in flower petals at this track meet and everything's gonna be great, you know.
Until I drown everyone in flowers. Whoops.
Yeah, oopsie.
So, moving on to Dark Forces Corner. This is our first capture of Arc 2. The first card in this chapter was the Flowery, which Sakura lends to Syaoran. And then comes battle with Joker. So Sakura uses the Watery first before they got distracted by the Kaitou. And at the circus, Syaoran uses the Flowery to blind the Joker and to save Melanie. So I think what really surprised me about this chapter is that we get the return of the knife card.
Yes, I was going to mention that.
Yes, which neither of us remember if it was ever used in New Trials.
Yes, because literally our second episode, we're like, does this card ever come back? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's
here
just
we are.
So Wish-chan knew what she was doing, and she whipped the knife card from her back pocket.
Tip of the hat to you, Wish-chan.
And we also get a comeback from the explosive.
Yes.
And then, the Flowery gets used, multiple times.
Yes.
For the fan art spotlight, I guess it's only fitting to highlight the Kaitou Magician by Wish-chan. So, here you go.
So good! Mm-hmm. Yes, handsome. He's got his Fane earring in. He's got his spiked hair.
Dressed in black. That's our Kai.
Tall, dark,
too.
and handsome. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember exactly when Wish-chan drew it, but I posted it to DeviantArt in 2012, and there is a mention of how he's now Kai Mizuki. So I'm sure this dates back to around Arc 3.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still fun to see him in black with the cape and all. And one part that the summary mentioned that I didn't write in my podcast notes. For the first time, the Kaitou Magician felt lonely.
Aww.
So it's I think he just spent so much time on his own, doing his own thing, and finally he meets a group of kids who's he met his match, and I don't know, maybe at this point he's I want to be their friend.
Yeah. Well, he's been on this mission to save, we'll figure it out, but he's been on this mission to save his mom and sister and father, because he knows the truth in that regard. And then also Kara's father, right, just passed away not that long ago. And so I think also it kind of makes him nostalgic for his old life, maybe a little bit, where he's this is the kind of teenager I could have been, if I didn't have to choose this lone wolf route. And so anyways, and I think also he kind of sees parallels of himself with Kara's father, because Kara's father, we learn, never came to help Nadesco and Riren and Miara and all them.
Yeah.
And so now he's he knows who they are.
Yes.
So I think the parallel is not lost on him, that he's going to also have to make that same decision of, do I help this or do I not? So anyways, I think for such a small sentence, it's such a loaded sentence,
I'm this just crossed my mind, but maybe the way that Syaoran is protected of Melanie reminds him of his big brother relationship that he used to have with Miho.
Oh yes, yeah, and that probably makes him lonely for his little sister, because he just saw her in New York, and saw this other brotherly figure in Errol that's now taking care of her. Oh, Kai.
Sorry, Kai, you're gonna get your love. Okay, time for the author's notes.
Well, so who is the Kaitou Magician? Does he derive from watching too much anime, such as Detective Conan, Kendaichi Shonen no Jeppengu, or Saint Tail? No. You will find out later that he is an original character inside. Why does he want Sakura's necklace and the Lee ring? You'll find out, but not anytime soon. Wish-chan.
Yes, you can tell that Wish-chan is very, very, very excited to introduce this OC, and he's definitely going to be a fan favorite for the decades to come. Listening to New Trials, the podcast, where it must rain for there to be a rainbow.
You've been listening to New Trials, the podcast. Please be sure to check out the audiobook version of this fan fiction that you can find anywhere that you can find this podcast. Also, please be sure to check out the Facebook fan page for new trials, where a big part of the discussions happen nowadays, and where you may also be mentioned in our Alliance of the Stars section. And please be sure to stick around next week, where we discuss Chapter 24, The Mirror of Truth. Hello, hi, Editing Melanie here. I just want to apologize for the constant dog barking in the background of this episode. I have a Great Pyrenees, and for those of you that don't know, they are a breed that just loves to bark. And at the time where Preya and I were recording this episode, they were working on a house down the street from me, and a bulldozer kept going by, so my dog kept barking, and yeah. So if you stuck around through the whole episode, we appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Bye!